Good evening and welcome to Weekend Update. I'm your host, Eric Farmer. Today is Saturday, April 26th, 2025. And what the hell is going on this week? Not a lot. Pretty quiet, I think. Nothing going on but the rent and the NHL playoffs. That's pretty good. I'm enjoying that. Colorado's down 2-1 against Dallas. They're playing here in a couple hours. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. I just got done watching the BGK Las Vegas Golden Knights beat Minnesota Wild in overtime. That kind of bummed me out, man. I was hoping Minnesota would win that game. They would take a 3-1 lead over Vegas. Fucking Vegas, man. Seems like the goddamn referees always seem to help them win. Hate that team so much. You know, they came into the league like 6 or 7 years ago. They've already won a Stanley Cup. You know, and you got a team like Minnesota. They've been in the league for like 25 or 30 years, and they've never won a Stanley Cup. So, yeah, I think that it's all biased. It's all favored. It's all rigged. It sucks. You know, you have to give teams like Vegas Knights all the power, man. Yeah. But what are you going to do? Anyways, yeah, it's heading towards the end of April here. Fuck. Time is moving by fast. Every year is getting shorter. Believe it. We're almost halfway through 2025 already. Fucking crazy, man. But yeah, pretty decent week here. I mean, we had some cold weather last week for April. Today started out pretty nice. And then it kind of clouded up and the temperature kind of dropped. But yeah, today was one of the first days of the spring that I've been out doing a little yard work. Feels good. Not much. First thing I usually do every year is rake the whole yard. You know, that takes quite a bit of work, but you know, I don't do it all. I do it in sections at a time. You know, maybe work for a half hour, take a break, and then do another section. Yeah, I did a little bit of raking today. Chopped up some more firewood. I got a bunch of logs in my yard. I got to process. Want to get that all done before the summer comes. You know, my yard to look fucking nice. You know, I enjoy. I take a lot of pride in that. You know, put a lot of work into making my yard look decent. And it's starting to show, man. It's looking better every year. Every year it looks a little better. You know, I'm glad. I like that. Well, fuck yeah. What the hell is going on, man? Everybody talking about this week. They're still talking about the Katy Perry flight into space. Everybody's making fun of that and talking about how fake it was and how the rocket ship that they flew on looks like a big old you know what. And then it separated. Only the head landed back on the earth. What happened to the shaft of the rocket ship? It probably fell into the ocean with parachutes. But no, the head of the rocket ship landed on solid ground with parachutes. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it really happened. You can't deny it. Hey, Davey boy, how you doing? But yeah, we don't know. But yeah, from looking at the whole thing, yeah, it was obviously. Why do they got to keep lying to us about everything? It's like a huge Johnson. That's Steve. 2 balls. complete with 2 balls. You remember that? Was it Austin Powers? It's like predictive programming, right? Look, sir, there's a giant Johnson flying through the sky. You can't make this shit up. Oh, yeah, you can. They make it up every day. I couldn't make it up, but, you know, I don't have the minds of those people. Hey, Wang, what was that thing? It looked like a giant. They use like all kinds of slang words, right? Looked like a giant. And then it would go to the next scene, right? Pretty much. But yeah, it also kind of looked like CGI, you know. Yeah, that's people are still talking about that shit. It happened like 2 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago or something. But yeah, 420 happened this week. Easter and 420 on the same day. Man, that was amazing day. That might happen once every 100 years or something. Yeah, really amazing. I don't really care about either one, you know. 420 is always a very interesting day, you know. A lot of stuff happens. Some people are saying that there was like a satanic ritual that starts on 419 and it goes all the way till May Day, May 1st. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. So we're in the middle of this satanic ritual right now. Yeah, it makes sense to me. I noticed a lot of crazy shit happens this time of year. I guess a lot of crazy shit happens every time of year. Oh, fuck yeah. Aussie Radio in the house. Nice to see you. But why do they make it look like that? You know, they have to make the ship look like that huge, you know what, and then put all these wealthy women on there. They see between like those 6 or 8 women that were on board the thing. Each one of them is like worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So very, very wealthy women. The only one I know is Katy Perry, but every one of that woman, every woman on that fucking ship was very wealthy. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. And then they had the thing shaped like a giant. And then there's fucking Jeff Bezos, right? The guy with a big asshole for a head. Fucking billionaires, man. God. But, you know, and any billionaire that's in the spotlight like that is a puppet billionaire, you know. Bezos, Trump, fucking, you name them. The list goes on, right? Musk, fucking dickhead. What's his name? Oh, yeah, Bill Gates. And there's all these fucking famous, popular billionaires that are in the spotlight. They're just puppets, man. The only reason why they're billionaires is because they were given their position. You know, they just play in the role. Used to be Gates was the richest man in the world. Now it's, you know, now Musk is the richest fucking peanut in the turd. What a piece of shit, right? Why can't we have a decent billionaire? Because decent people don't become billionaires. They don't want a decent person ain't going to sell their soul to become a billionaire. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. It could all be real people and wonderful, and it's not fake at all. But yeah, that's what's all we hear about these days, right? Is these goddamn billionaires and their shenanigans. And Why do they got to keep jamming this shit down our throats? No pun intended. So I don't know what else happened this week. Fuck, it's all a blur. I've been enjoying the hockey action though. It's been pretty good. The playoffs, you just can't beat it. You just watched the Big Lebowski for the first time ever over Easter. Oh, yeah, I've never watched that whole movie. I think I've seen pieces and parts of it. Supposedly, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. I just don't watch movies much anymore. Man, that's a tripper. I might have to watch it again. I've seen parts of it. Maybe I should just watch it, pay attention to the whole thing. But I just can't watch movies anymore for some reason. I don't know. Once I get into it, I guess it's cool. I'm just so disgusted with the whole movie industry. But yes, been kind of a cool April here in Colorado, but not cold by any means. It's not been bad at all. We haven't had any cold weather. We haven't had any warm weather or really warm, so it's just been middle of the road, a little bit. Some days are a little bit on the cold side. Some are average warmth. But I'm ready for that breakout, man. I'm ready for that. When we get our first 70-degree weather up here, Still not in the forecast, man. We're still looking at 50s and 60s maybe. And I heard down in Denver tomorrow it's going to get 81 degrees. So yeah, I don't have to travel very far if I want to go to some warm weather. Mr. Adams Apple, how you doing? See, I have donated all my movies. I live for YouTube content. That's pretty much all I watch is anything on the internet. YouTube, BitChute is what I mostly watch for entertainment. Hey, Ken Rotman in the house. We had our Anzac Day Friday in Melbourne. They turned it into a Welcome to Country Indigenous Recognition Ceremony. I'm not sure what that means, but I know that June's coming up, and you know what happens in June, right? Can anybody tell me what's the month of June all about? Well, who hijacked the month of fucking June? That's right. The ones with the flags. June has become Pride Month. That's right. I said it. What a again horrible state of affairs we're living in, man. They have their own month. How come there's not like a straight month, We're celebrating straight pride. June's one of the best months of the year, too. I think it should be straight pride month. But, straight pride is hateful, I guess. Because straight people are not, oppressed like the poor LGBTQ people and other letters of the alphabet they have. You have to take all these different categories of people and lump them into one alphabet soup so it makes them seem more relevant. So there's all these different categories of different kinds of perverts. People. Yeah. I'm surprised they don't put a P in there. You know what the P stands for. Adam, we get a new prime minister on the 28th. Yeah. So you're in Canada. They're finally getting rid of fucking Trudeau, the fucking closet homosexual. We should call him Justin, not Bieber, but who's his real father? That Cuban dude? Castro, yeah. We should call him Justin Castro. He looks just like him, don't he? I wonder what's going to become of Trudeau Castro. I mean, Trudeau. They should fucking tar and feather his ass. That would be cool, man. I would love to see Trudeau get tarred and feathered on live TV. Ken Ron, we got elections here too. Albanese or Dutton, both fuckwits. Yeah, that's what we got here, man. You choose one fuckwit or the other. You know, but people worship Trump. You know, we got Trump has a cult following. It's weird, man. In our culture today, how these people, certain people have cult followings. You know, it's really, people are like brainwashed, man. It's insane. They're under an evil spell, you know, of certain people, and you can't talk them out of it, man. You know, they would never admit the truth that their hero is a fuckwit, and they're under an evil spell, and they worship this fucking piece of shit. Come on, man. Why do you worship somebody? God damn, worshiping a human being as if they were a god. You know, really. There's quite a few people in this world that have a following like that. Trump's one of them. And some of them have smaller following, but you know, whatever your cult following is, these people will throw themselves under a bus for you to protect you. You know, if anybody says anything bad about their hero, it's really bizarre to me. You know, they can't just wake up and see the truth, but no, they got to keep worshiping their idol. You know, it's like the Republican, you know, Democrat paradigm. You know, people just can't get over it, man. You know, oh yeah, the Pope died. Yeah, interesting story there. 88. Speaking of fucking scumbags. Cops are people at the end of the day. People that have sold their souls. Yeah, cops are people at the end of the day, and their only goal is to go home safe, no matter what it takes, no matter who they have to shoot in the face, so they can go home safe at the end of the day. It's all about officer safety. You know, there's people say officer safety is fucking cowardice. That's where we live, man. We got a bunch of coward cops that will shoot you in the face so they can go home at the end of the day. But yeah, they say this latest pope, whatever his name was, he's done more work than anybody to bring in a one world religion. Imagine that, a one world fucking religion. A religion is so evil. Isn't that ironic? The most evil fucking organizations on the planet claim to be the holiest. It's the world we live in, man. Everything is fucking backwards, upside down. You know, cops are there to protect the people, right? But what do? They do more damage to the people than anybody. Same with doctors and dentists and lawyers. You know, whatever they're supposed to do, they do the opposite. And then they just lie about it and claim that they're doing their jobs. Fucking insane, man. But that's the way it is when you live on, you know, this planet. It's all a big shit show, man. It's all not what it's supposed to be, basically. It's a prison, really. It's a torture chamber. It's a prison for your soul. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I want out of it. And I never want to come back. God damn it. That's what I've learned in this life. How to avoid being reincarnated when I die. But yeah, don't get me started on cops being people. Man, I got some decent weed this week. I splurged. You know, I've been smoking cheap ass shake weed for like months and months and months because I've been so poor and unable to find employment for like a couple years. But yeah, now this week I said, fuck it. I'm going to fucking get some decent weed. So, but yeah, the Pope. Do you really think he died? Or did they just fake his death? You know, I think either way, either one is possible. It's like quantum physics, man. It's superposition. The Pope could be dead and alive at the same time. You know, who else died this week? I'm sure somebody else died. Lots of people died. Millions of people die every day. But more are born. You see, that's what they claim anyway. So the population continues to rise. They claim it is. I don't know. I don't believe a fucking word of it, man. Population is going down, and they keep claiming it's going up. Isn't that insane? Especially in China. I just watched a video where they were showing how fucking China's become a ghost town. Where have all the people gone? It's just like walking around like, oh yeah, this is you know, the streets are just empty. You know, everything. There's no people anywhere. So but they're still claiming that the population, like whole cities have been abandoned in China, here in the United States too, but not just cities, but you know, like small towns and shit all across the country have been abandoned. You know, I've seen so many videos about, and even in major cities, huge swaths of areas where everything is shut down. All the businesses are shut down, you know. But you never hear about that shit in the media, right? They don't talk about it, but because they want us to believe that the population is still growing as it's fucking being destroyed. Yeah. All that came from him talking about cops being people at the end of the day. You know, I had a friend of mine that became a cop. And like within 2 years, he fucking quit. Another friend of mine that was a cop and quit, you know. So these are real people. And they couldn't do it, man. They couldn't follow their orders, man. They couldn't follow the orders. It was just too inhuman what they were ordered to do to other human beings, you know. You got to be a soulless fucking turd to do that shit to other people. You can't have, you know, You got to be a total psychopath to be a cop today. That's all there is to it, man. You got to have no heart. You got to have no compassion in your fucking heart whatsoever. But yeah, cops are people at the end of the day. When they go home to their families and beat their wives and kick their dogs. Yeah, the statistic is 40% of cops fucking beat their wives and abuse their children and their dogs. 40%. That's fucking way more than the average population. Virginia Giuffre died the other day. They claim she unalived herself, but major whistleblower on Prince Andrew and Epstein Aussie girl. They unalived her. Sure. I don't doubt it for 1 second, man. That's how ruthless the world has become now, man. Yeah. They'll fucking frame you and tell you and say that you killed yourself. How many people have unalived themselves? Like Jeffrey Epstein. They Epstein themselves. But no, that's a bad example. You know, he was a scumbag. Like decent person that unalived themselves, right? I can't think of one right offhand, but yeah, like this person Ken was talking about. She was in a bad car accident just weeks before. Yeah. You know, these cars nowadays can be remotely controlled. All these modern cars, they can fucking shut off everything and hit the accelerator. You have no control. Boom. Yep, it's a fact. Don't believe me? Look it up. It's another day reason why I don't want a much newer car than I already have. I don't. They could probably do it in my car too. It's like a 2010. She's the girl in the photo with Andrew and Epstein. 17 years old. Die. 17 years when then. Wow, I didn't even know she had a. I don't know. I live under a rock, man. I don't know what's going on in the world too much. I just know it's fucked up and I don't like it. But yeah, a little bit of a cloudy, dreary afternoon here. We're supposed to have a really nice day tomorrow. It's going to be maybe the warmest day of the year up, you know, so far. And then we're getting more rain next week. So that's good, man. Hopefully we'll get some rain next week. And my house won't burn down over the summer. You know, that's another fucking problem I'm having. My fucking house insurance went up 25%. 25%. My God, you know? Last time it went up was 15%. Last year they gave me a little break. It didn't go up too much. Then, oh yeah, now this year, 20, you know, I'm sure they'll blame it on the LA fires. Now the LA fires happened, so now, you know, we knew this was going to happen. After the LA fires, everybody's insurance is fucking going up, man. They're making it impossible to live. Just fucking sucking the life out of us, man. God, it fucking irks me, man. And I looked at that 25% increase. That's a kick in the balls, man. You know, it's like fucking sucking the life right out of your fucking, you know? Justify it because of climate change and the LA fires and fires everywhere and earthquakes and fucking tornadoes and hurricanes It's all climate change. So we're going to suck money out of your fucking soul. So you can't have any money for yourself because you got to give it to your goddamn insurance company. Ugh, it fucking makes me sick. Yeah. Man, don't dare go without it, though, man. As soon as I don't have home insurance, my fucking house will burn down. I'm totally fucked. I wish I could just raise my rate. Oh, my insurance company raised it 25%, so I'm going to have to get a 25% raise. How's that going to go over? Isn't that how it works? They all raise their rates. I got to get paid more money. Yeah. It doesn't seem to work like that, man. Because everybody else they got to pay more for their insurance. Fuck. It's a nightmare, man. I don't see any way out of it, man. Fuck. We're just going to keep fucking raising everything up until we're all fucking gone. I wish I could just go live in the fucking bush, like in Africa or something. Just become a hunter-gatherer. Fuck all this shit. He's been following the story the last few years. Very sad. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. She's fucking well. You get caught up with Epstein, man. Your days are numbered. It's a good thing Epstein killed himself in that prison cell. And the cameras just managed to happen to malfunction. So there's no video of it. I seen a video where in Africa a man made a sports car out of cardboard and the lawnmower. Fuck yeah. That sounds like it fucking awesome. That's how I want to live, man. In Africa with a cardboard fucking sports car. I'm tired of this modern American lifestyle, man. It's fucking killing me. But, we all got to go sooner or later. Or do we? No. Sadly, in the Bible, it says there will become a time when men will wish for death, but death will not come. And that sounds gnarly. At least Africa makes their own cars. So did the Flintstones. I could see myself driving around in a Fred Flintstone mobile. You got to have strong legs to drive a Fred Flintstone mobile. Imagine driving the whole family around that big old stone wheels with your own legs. Fred Flintstone was an engine of a man. And he didn't wear shoes. He used his feet for brakes. Here's the Fred Flintstone. One of my childhood heroes. Fuck yeah. I'll go ahead and post a link here. Anybody wants to hop on here? You know, I'm going to do shorter live stream these days. I don't know what I should do, man. I'm thinking I want to do like a 2.5 hour live stream twice a month. What do you think about that schedule? That will give me my 5 hours a month. I could have 2 nice, good long live streams, but only 2 a month. So I think, you know, that might be instead of doing it every week for like an hour or an hour and a half. You know, if you do the math, you could do like 3 1-hour live streams and 1 2-hour live stream, hour and a half long live streams. Maybe hour and a half would be the way to go. That sucks when that happens, Ken. No one turns up. I've been there, man. I know how it is. Barely anybody turns up at mine. Been live streaming for like at least 6 or 7 years. Hey, I finally got to 619 subs. Woo! Fuck, I'm on my way, man. This channel's gonna get huge. Hey, at least it's going up, man. But like so long, so slow. It took me probably like 3 or 4 years to go from 500 to 600 subs. Or maybe at least 2 or 3. So we'll see how long it takes to get to 700. I mean, it's gotten to 619 relatively quickly compared to what it was. I think I hit 600 like maybe last summer or last fall. So yeah, it'll be like at least like maybe 6 or 5 months ago when I hit 600. So it'll take me like 5 or 6 months to gain 19 subs. Hey, it's at least the right direction. Can't say I got 18 subs on this new channel. Last one had 70 something. Oh yeah. Takes a long time, man. If you're a little fucking piss on channel like ours, you ain't gonna. They're not. Your channel's not gonna get any fucking exposure, especially when you talk about the kind of shit that I talk about. You know, you're not gonna be shown to people at all. It's kind of like what they call shadow banning, you know, say, oh, I'm being shadow banned or whatever. But, you know, it's just a fact that you're not going to get much exposure unless you're a fucking homo. Homos get millions of subs. But if you talk, you know, about shit that I talk about on this channel, his last channel at 677. That's, yeah. So what I'm hoping to get by 2026 or 7, I bet you by 2027 I might have that many subs. 2 years from now, maybe, if I'm lucky. Just pretend to be homo. Yeah, I'm sure there's some that do. We're seeing like, what's his name? Mike, no, not Mike Dawson, but a Dawson fucker. Shane Dawson, yeah. I kind of looked at, you know, I learned about him early in the, you know, maybe when I started watching YouTube a lot, like in 2009 and shit, 2010, and you know he kept popping up. So I watched a couple of videos. Like, this fucker's weird as fuck. and then and I started noticing how he had a huge following of like young kids and shit, but he wasn't like openly homo or not, but he was weird, So I watched that video. I never liked him, man. He always gave me the creeps ever since I watched any of his videos. But it was interesting to see what happened, and what he was doing and shit, how he was corrupting the minds of young people and shit, and like how, like one day he kissed a guy that was probably like 10 or 15 years ago. I just looked at one of his videos recently, and now he's like full blown fucking Fruit of the Loom. And he's got like 6 million subs or more. Maybe he's got like 9 million or something. It's insane. And every one of his videos gets like 5 million views, and he's disgusting. Just put a wig on and say you're trans. Thousands. I know. Sad but true. No, it's too late for me, man. They know me. Yeah. And just keep my beard. Put a wig on. And fucking some fake fucking tatas. And that's what it's come to. It's fucking crazy, huh? Even talking about this on my live stream could be considered hate speech. You're hating on these people. No, I'm not. I'm just stating the facts. So, stating facts is fucking hate speech today. Yeah. Basically. Being honest and, is hate speech. Honesty is hate speech. That is what. It's very Orwellian, I know. But I ain't even exaggerating. Dress up in a clown costume, like Deke Jackson. Hey, fucking hey! Conspiracy clown here. Deke Jackson's an interesting guy. The only thing I don't like about Deke Jackson is he fucking totally promotes climate change, like it's the gospel. It's the only thing I don't like about Deke Jackson. Everything else is hilarious. But he really gets serious about climate change is actually happening, I don't agree with him there. Is it a scam? Yeah. You see, I could get struck down for just talking about that. It's like, anything that goes against their agenda and you talk ill of it, you're going to get a strike. So you got to watch if you want to keep your YouTube channel, you got to be careful. That's the way it is. Insane Clown Posse. I never liked that, man. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of creepy and evil. I never really got into it. Was they like Insane in the Membrane? Wasn't that Insane Clown Posse? Or was that someone else? But yeah, yesterday I was sitting with my dog at the pub at lunchtime, and like I'm sitting there just fucking just having a good time talking to my friends at in the establishment, and all of a sudden, man, I heard Jake bark, like this really, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then he was like sitting on a really tall bar stool, and I had his leash tied around my leg, kind of. But yeah, and he fucking pulled me right over on the bar stool. Bam! Because a dog came walking in, and they fucking freaked out and went after it's like a little dog. I got pulled off the bar. Bam! Luckily, I wasn't hurt too bad though. It was all right. My beer fell over and got broken. But yeah, they were cool about it, man. You know, I just took Jake out and put him in the car. But I got a pretty good bruise on my leg. And I'll show you. See, I don't know if you can see it. Fucking bruise. Oh shit! Pretty purple. Yeah. It was like it like hit the bottom of the bar stool. Bam! It's not bad. It's just a bruise on the calf muscle, man. Let's see. At first I thought, man, fuck. Hope I didn't fucking fracture my fucking shin bone. Whatever that fucking bone is. It's all good though, man. I'm okay. It's just a nasty looking bruise. It's not. I've had worse bruises in my life. But yeah, I'm not into that insane clown posse. It's fucking stupid, if you ask me. Really nothing enjoyable about it at all. I just watched a compilation video of dogs on leads pulling their owners on the asses. Yeah, I got pulled over, man, pretty hard. I wonder if they had a video in the place I could get. That would be hilarious. You know, it's a good thing I'm in such great conditioning, you know, or I might have been really hurt bad. I might be in the hospital right now. If I didn't keep myself in such incredible conditioning, physical shape. But yeah, to take a fall like that at my age, man, I think it went pretty well. It's got a bruise on my leg. And no one got hurt. No animals were hurt. But yeah, the guy took his little dog and walked back out of the bar. You know, it was not really a bar. It's like there's a bar and like it's kind of like a restaurant, but it's just a pizza joint. They make their money by slinging pizza pies. But I just go in there, you know, on my lunch break and maybe have a beer or two. Just mostly to socialize, you know. It's hard to social. And there's always a couple people. At least I know the bartender's a pretty good friend of mine. They have different bartenders and shit. And people I know will come in there, and it's good to talk to people, you know. That's the reason I like to go there. You know, you need to socialize, man. You know, for way too long, never going out and socializing, you know. But yeah, I know. I thought, I don't give a shit. I don't need to socialize. I can do all my socializing online. It's not true. You need to, you know, have human contact and socialize with other people. You know, it's a human need, man. You know. Then they want us all to live in isolation. That's why they've done all these changes to the world to put it into the state it is now, right? Where people, you know, they don't want to go out and socialize. They don't, you know, they want to just stay at home. But I think people are starting to figure it out, you know, after all the shit that's happened here in the 2020s. You know, it's been an interesting decade, and it was all done by design. You know, there's a reason why everything that happened in 2020 happened in 2020. It was the start of a new decade. It was the start of a new era. The war on terror was over, and a new, you know, era started. which is the post-COVID age, they call it. There was the post 9/11 era, and now we're living in the post-COVID era. And it'll probably last, and in 20 years from, oh no, it'll probably, by 2030, it'll be a new era. The post-humanity era. But, you don't hear much. You still hear a little bit here and there about terrorism, but not like you used to, right? Where did all the terrorists go? We killed them all in the war on terror. Trump, he died like a dog. We got the leader of ISIS, and he died like a dog. Okay? He died like a dog. That's what he said, man. He was a coward, and he died like a dog. That's the world we live in. People talk like that. Presidents talk like that. Think about it, man. It's fucking fucked up. It's weird, man. You can look at the world in two different lights: the negative side or the positive side. If you really look what's going on in the world, it's definitely run by the negative side. Who's in control of the world are definitely on the negative side. Fuck yeah. Here we are, 2025, baby. Just about halfway through the 2020s. When we hit June 1st, we'll be halfway through the 2020s. If that means anything. To the people that put all these numbers in place, it means something for sure. That's why they put a number on everything, the date, the time. It's very important if you're controlling the world. Have all these numbers and dates on everything. Information. We want information. 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 Who are you? The new number 2. You are number 6. I am not a number. I am a free man. Who knows where that's from? Yeah, the numbers mean everything, because the universe is all about mathematics. That's why all these people are so into numerology. Numbers. Everything happens on certain dates. It's not by coincidence, man. It's planned out. Okay? I'll tell you that right now. It doesn't happen by coincidence, okay? Have you boys been smoking marijuana? I'll tell you right now, marijuana is bad, okay? Don't even get me started on heroin. Next thing you know, you could be all strung out, because you took that one hit off that one joint. And now you're fucking hooked on fucking fentanyl. Yeah, see, all these words I'm saying are like, it's tripping off the algorithm. Did he just say fentanyl? Fuck. You can't say fentanyl, man. Oh, sorry, I said it again. Latest conspiracy: J.D. Vance killed the Pope, shook hands with him, and dead the next day. And then he had sex with the Pope's dead body. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that's terrible. That's horrible. Necrophilia with the Pope. Oh my God! How could you even go there? Because that's the world we live in. J.D. Vance, when he shook his hand, slipped him a Mickey. You never know. They got all kinds of high-tech ways to kill people now. It was like it's pretty easy to kill somebody if you know what you're doing. And no one would ever know. They would just think he died of a heart attack or something. There's no sign of any, foul play. Like it just looked like a mosquito bite. That little tiny hole is what killed him. A little dart went in him and fucking gave him a fucking heart attack. And there's nothing left of it. Disintegrates. There's no trace of the thing that killed it, that caused the heart attack. Just looks like he had a natural heart attack. They got that kind of technology. Apparently, I don't know. I've heard it though. Some people say that death is not possible. You can never really die in your own reality. I hope not. I don't want to live forever, man. Well, maybe I have been living forever. Just different incarnations over and over and over. I noticed that at some point in life, he's like, God, I'm kind of tired of life. Just, God, it's a grind. I remember thinking that back in my 20s. This is getting tiring. God damn. Every day I wake up and fuck. Oh well. We'll just well, here I am all these decades later, so I must have a strong survival instinct. J.D. Vance. I don't know who the fuck J.D. Vance is. That's how much of a rock I live under. I need to make a song. I live under a rock. I live under a rock and I don't know shit because I live under a rock. I live under a rock and I don't know shit because I live under a rock and I don't know shit. But I live under a rock on top of a mountain. Fuck yeah. Yeah, a lot of people get injured by getting pulled over by their dogs, man. I know a person happened to last summer. Her face was all fucked up, man. Dog pulled her over and she fucking face planted. And kind of a, not a very strong, middle-aged woman, definitely losing her strength in life and not walking her, 75, 80-pound dog, and it just pulled after something, and she just went down, and her face was all fucked up, man. She was all black and blue, and like her eyes were all swollen up, and like her nose was all swollen up, but she just totally face planted, man. So yeah, you got to be careful if you got a big, strong dog. They can, like my dog is like, 75 pounds or 70, maybe 70 pounds, but he's fucking strong, man. But like they say, a dog, like a 100-pound dog has the strength of a 200-pound man. So yeah, they're fucking strong. So if you're 150 pounds, a 100-pound dog is too much dog for you. Like Jake said, I'm 150, so I'm barely strong enough to handle Jake. And I, just wasn't prepared. How dare the dog come into the scene? I was just minding my own, and then all of a sudden this guy had to bring his dog in there, and my dog fucking. Next thing I know, I'm pulled over on my bar stool. Fuck it, happened. It's all good, man. Nobody got seriously injured. I felt bad for the guy and his dog, man. I was the one that almost could have been seriously injured if I wasn't such an incredible specimen as a human. And I know how to fall, man. I've been doing extreme sports all my life. I know how to fall. Well, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Good times. Good times. We talk about good times in this channel. Can't wait to see what happens next. It's always something. That's for sure. Something will happen next week, whether you like it or don't. It sounds like there could be a joke in there, man. I'm sitting there minding my own business, and some asshole brings his dog into the bar. But my dog thinks he owns the place. That's the problem with Jay. He thinks he owns the place. Yeah, he loves all the humans there, but as soon as another dog walks into the room, he goes ape shit. What the fuck? But he gets along with other dogs in certain environments, but in the bar room setting, he don't get along with dogs at all. That's sad, but I'm working on that. Can't say my Ivy dog was the same. But in certain settings, he gets along fine with other dogs. It's not just like he has a total aversion to other dogs at all. Just in certain situations, like he feels he needs to protect me in certain situations. I think that dog's gonna attack you or something. I don't know. It's weird. I've only had him for 10 months, so we could break him of that. I haven't given up. But yeah, that's a hell of a feeling when you're on a big, tall bar stool and you're going over. It almost feels like it's in slow motion on one hand, but on the other hand, it happens real fast, Isn't that interesting how there's two hands to every situation? It kind of feels like slow motion in one side of your brain, and the other side of your brain, it happens instantly. It's superposition. It's quantum physics. Right there. It's an explanation. You're going over the chair. You could either be in the slow motion state or the instantaneous state. It's better to be in the slow motion state because you can react better. Yeah, I've noticed that in almost anything that's happened to me. On one hand, it seems like it's slow motion. On the other hand, it happens really fast. But that's true of everything. If I look at my whole life, on one hand, it seems like a long fucking time, my life. On the other hand, it seems like it happened like in like a decade or less. So yeah, there's always two different perspectives on time. One perspective is the long one, or it seems like a long time. The other perspective is it happens real fast. I think that's the interesting thing about time. It's malleable, kind of. My dog wants to protect it, and someone gets close to me. Both dogs are male and want to be the alpha dog. Yeah, Jake definitely wants to be the alpha dog. He's not even scared of a fucking 160-pound Rottweiler. But it's interesting. Him and the 160-pound Rottweiler are friends. They play with each other. Isn't that interesting? He plays with the 160-pound Rottweiler, and then he wants to attack a little 35-pound fucking Chihuahua. No, Chihuahuas are smaller than 35 pounds. A small, maybe 30-pound dog that's half Chihuahua, half something else. Or a moose, yeah. Jake likes to go out and spar with mooses, yeah. He's into that. He ain't afraid of a moose at all. It's just he's lucky he didn't get stomped to death. Yeah, maybe one day he will. But no, I've fortified my property since I got Jake. So the moose hopefully won't come on the property anymore. And Jake won't be able to get out and attack him. But yeah, I learned last fall. Yeah. I love the moose, man. But no, on the other hand, on one hand, I love the moose. On the other hand, I hate the fucking moose. It's like everything else in the world, in the universe. There's two hands to it. A dachshund went missing. Is that a dachshund? Like a dachshund, like a wiener dog? Went missing 2 years ago on Kangaroo Island. He just turned up out of the blue out at home. They're looking healthy as shit. Wow. Dogs are amazing creatures, man. It survived the bush 2 years. Don't know how it ate. Maybe someone was feeding it, man. It was eating bugs. What's out? There ain't much to eat out in the bush, is there? It's not like abundant resources out there. I think someone must have been. He was eating dead kangaroos. There you go. And there are plenty of dead kangaroos in the bush. He was eating roadkill kangaroo. Come on. But a Dachshund, is that like a wiener dog? What is it? Lizards would be the only thing he could catch. Lizards, very nutritious. Everybody knows that lizards are very nutritious. Yeah, wiener dog. Yeah. Then I would imagine, yeah, he could be. Yeah, he was probably eating lizards. Yeah, I would guess. I love dogs. They're a pain in the ass, though, man. Humans can survive by eating lizards. And what do lizards eat? They eat bugs. So if you're eating lizards, you're fucking inadvertently eating bugs. You know, you could say that about chickens too, right? Chickens eat bugs. Those tiny little legs couldn't catch. No. A wiener dog ain't catching no rabbit. It might catch a baby rabbit or something. No. Rabbits are very hard to catch. Certain animals are designed to catch rabbits, like foxes, bobcats. You know, wiener dogs, they're not really. Who knows? They might be excellent at surviving in the wild. I was wrong, but I don't think a wiener dog would have much chance of surviving in the wild. It would probably die within a month or two if a wiener dog was left out in the wild. Most of them. Most dogs in general, they were stuck out in the wild. I don't know. Who knows? They might survive indefinitely. Like in the case of this one, right? They'll like go eat garbage and shit, you know. The one thing about dogs, they got a very powerful sense of smell. They can smell very, man. They say like 500 or 1,000 times better than a human. You know, that's why you're like walking your dog and he's smelling around, smelling shit. You personally, you don't smell nothing. What the fuck is that dog smelling? He's smelling something that you don't know what it is. You know, if there's no tracks, you know, if you're walking through snow or something, you can see the tracks of the animal. But on dry ground, you don't see no tracks. You know, maybe you might, but mostly you don't. And your dog can smell it. You know, so that, you know, that's why dogs can track people down and shit. You know, can you imagine having that kind of a scent? They say that a bear has a even way stronger sense of smell than a dog. But yeah, that's how they survive in the wild, is by their sense of smell. Man, they can smell food for a long time. They can smell animals that they could possibly kill. Well, humans don't have that superpower. Well, fuck yeah, man. I'm going to have to wrap it up, man. Appreciate everybody stopping by, hanging out. Love you guys. And we'll see you next time.